Learning to ride an EUC just got a lot easier with this. This is the INMOTION E20, and to show you what I mean, here's my wife riding my EUC. Okay.
It's like a pogo stick.
I've seen enough. Oh, making it look easy. Which one do you like better?
This one.
So what's the difference? Well, to find out, we gotta take a peek underneath the hood. And as you can see, it's got 2 wheels. So, you know, not technically an EUC, but this is very close. And honestly, everything else but this having 2 wheels is identical to this. Well, and the lights and the power and the wheel size, it's black, this is white, but everything else is the same. So if your goal is to get something like this, which is much more powerful, much faster and bigger, this is where I would start, and here's why. There's 2 things that are very difficult when learning to ride this, and that is the mount and dismount. I had to hold onto a wall or a pole or my buddy's hand, which was a little bit embarrassing, but I've recovered from that experience. Almost. And let me just demonstrate why. With the normal EUC, once you hit the button on, it does stabilize, but if you let go, it falls to the ground. Hit the power button on, and it stabilizes. When you take your hand off, voila, it's magic. It stays. Where are you going? It requires less balance to mount and dismount. Those are the 2 first hurdles that this basically just eliminates when it comes to learning how to ride an EUC. Everything else, like I mentioned before, is very similar. Both of these have, oh, stay there. Yeah, stay there. Both of them have flaps that fold down. Come back here. In order to move forward, you have to lean forward. To go backwards or to hit the brakes, you have to lean back. And they both have the same position. This is the only vehicle where I know where you stand up with both feet forward and you go that way. It's a very awkward fill. When you take that awkward filling and then you throw something like this in it, that's big, bulky, hard to balance at first, and super powerful, that's no good. You gotta be persistent in order to learn how to ride this, which I was, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that. But again, if I had this at the time I learned to ride this, I would have definitely gone this route. It gets you used to riding in that style before you hop onto something more powerful. Now, one thing that I like that INMOTION did with this is there's an app and you can customize it depending on how you feel the most comfortable in riding. I'm gonna take it out to the street and show you what I mean. In the app, there's a feature called pedal sensitivity, and it's from 0 to 100. That affects how much you have to lean forward to go forward. All right, the more sensitive, the less you have to lean. So if you're a little bit unsure and you wanna gain your balance before this thing just takes off, you can set it to a very insensitive level, and that way you can mount it, and if you're moving around a little bit, it's not gonna take off on you. That is a really cool feature. Come back. And then when you're ready to transition into something more powerful, before you do that, just crank up the sensitivity so that when you pop on, you're ready to go. I'd only recommend changing that setting once you're pretty confident with your balance and how this rides and feels. The second thing you can customize is the balance tilt. You can set it 10 degrees to the front or 10 to the back. And when you set it all the way to either extreme, it does take off on you. There she goes. But the nice thing about that, it takes less effort for you to go forward. And it also helps with balance as well. There's a few more things you can do in the app. You can see there's lights that go around each side. In the app, you can change the color and the speed of that light. Got the headlight on now. I've turned these to solid blue, which actually looks pretty dang cool. This is what they call flow speed, which is pretty cool. I like that. You can also change the riding modes, with the top mode only topping out at 12 miles an hour. Some other cool stuff that I like. If you just lift it up, the tires are gonna spin. I don't know if you can see that, but they're spinning. And then it just shuts off automatically. If you just wanna like hop off, pop it over a curb, get back on, all you have to do is just double tap the power button. That deactivates the sensor and cuts power to the wheels. Put it back down, hit it again, double tap it, and you're back and ready to ride. I also like that there's pads, so you do have some cushion. The body is a little bit of a cheaper plastic, but I'm okay with that because this only costs $400. Just an awesome price for what you get. And another thing that you get is it's got a Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, we got some tunes. I want to talk about comfort for a second because there is no suspension. There's just the wheels, but those are air-filled and they feel pretty good. Like I've gone on sidewalk lines, rougher parts of the trail and road, and I even came up on the curb. It just coasted right up that. You also have a bunch of power. They say this can climb up to a 15% grade. Oh, heck yeah, you got plenty of power. Nice. This is the part in the review where I want to talk about a few things that I didn't like. And the first one is, wait for it, right there. Not only does it beep when you go past 12 miles an hour, which is as fast as this allows you to go. Oh, dang, that's a buck. Look at that guy over there. He's just bucking along. But when it starts beeping, it changes the angle and it moves the flaps back a little bit to slow you down. Moving the pedals when you're not expecting it, that's not good. So I don't know why they went that route. The second thing is the turning. As you would expect with two wheels, it's a little bit tricky to turn. You really have to put a lot of lean and pressure on your turning leg. That's tricky. Woo. The third thing is the cheaper rubber on the flaps. I've already broken it and now it's flapping in the wind. But that's really my only three complaints. I think the only thing I haven't covered now is the acceleration, which is actually really good. That gets up and goes. It's got some torque. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to tell you, which is kind of important. They say this has a range rating up to 19 miles and it takes about 4 to 5 hours for a recharge. Well, there you go. If you're looking to get into EUCing, that's an excellent place to start. I really wish I had that a year ago when I learned how to ride these. It would have made that a whole lot easier. If you want to check out that video and learn from all of my mistakes, I'll have it posted right up there somewhere. So go check that out. Thanks for watching and take care.